Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use a syringe in order to fill up your pilot Metropolitan. So I have a request from one of my subscribers to show how to use a syringe in filling up this pen. Now I have these sample vials that I got from, this one is Vinta Lucia. I got this from Vanessa. And then this one is Robert Oster CD Lavender. I got this from Goulet Pen. You know, if you only have like a small ink sample left in your vial, it is very difficult to get it out of there. So even if you fully submerge the feed, because there is a gap in between, it's impossible to draw all of the ink. So for you to be able to get all of the ink out, you would have to use some kind of suction type mechanism, similar to like a syringe. But if you have a fat syringe like this one, this is not gonna work, because if you compare the size of the vial and the size of the body of this syringe, it's impossible for it to get in, and you still could not get to the bottom of the vial to get the remaining inks. So what I did was I searched online and found this in Amazon. So this looks like a converter. It looks like a plunge type converter, plus it has an attachment. It has this long needle as attachment, so you can actually get to, you know, the bottom of this ink vial. So this is going to work. So all the things that you need is to prep up your space so you won't have any you know, stain left in there. Make sure that you are ready. All right, so basically this is what I used in filling up my pilot parallel pen. I was practicing italic lettering yesterday and it ran out of ink. The previous ink that I have on this cartridge is red, but I decided that I am gonna try to hack it, and I was successful in doing so. So I cleaned up the feed, I also cleaned up the cartridge, and was able to fill this up with Sailor Manual haha. So that's the kind of ink that I have in here, and it really works. So I am very happy that I found this online. So now, without further ado, let me demonstrate how this is done in a moment. So before I do the Metropolitan, I'm gonna do my other pen first. So this is FPR Fountain Pen Revolution. This is in Himalaya version 1, and I do not have any more ink left in here. As you can see, this is empty, and I could not use this, you know, to get to the bottom. And there would be, if I submerge it there would be a gap, and it would be impossible to get all of the ink out because there is air. So I am going to use a syringe to do that, to fill this up with ink. That's what I'm gonna do. The reason why I want to do this first is just so you know, you can see it clearly, because this converter is transparent. And I'm gonna do next the Pilot Metropolitan, but I wanted you guys to have a visual representation of what's going on, you know, when you do this. Alrighty, so let me do this. Of course, we have to remove this, and I have to unscrew it. Okay, put it back here, make sure that it's in there, and uncap the vial. I have to be very careful with this. Okay, all right, so first thing is you want to make sure that you press it all the way down. Okay, and then submerge it in there, and then slowly, I'm not really good at it, release. So as you can see, that is the amount of ink that I got. So I'm probably going to repeat the process. I'm going to kind of like pump it in there multiple times. Let me try again. Oops, be careful you guys, because the ink pen. All right, so this is the amount that I have on my vial, and this is the one that I'm gonna drop in here. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's about the amount of ink I could get in there. I could still Oops. Come on. I could still get the remaining inks I have in there. Alright. So as you can see, that's the amount of ink. That's probably all too much. So I'm just going to be very careful when I press this down. Make sure that this does not overflow because I don't want any mess. Okay, in here. Okay. And that's about the amount that I want on my pen. Okay? Alrighty. So I'm just going to squeeze the excess ink out back to the tube. Alright. Okay. So that's the process I did. And as you can see, this one is full. All I need to do is, there's a little bit of air in there, but that's fine. I'm going to screw it back on. Alright, and I think I am ready. So this is filled. Let me try that. Screw it back. And let's just wait for the ink to saturate the feed, and we'll have a writing sample of this. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is the Pilot Metropolitan. So now you know how that looks like. Going to the same thing. Now, it's very difficult to see how much ink is left in here until your pen no longer writes. So, I filled this with the Robert Oster CD Lavender, and I only fill it with maybe about 0.5 ml. So that's probably what I'm gonna do, because it's very difficult for me to see the ink level in here, and I don't want to feed it too much so that it spills and overflows and wastes my ink. So let me get a new one so I don't have to rinse the other one out. So this one is available in Amazon. I'm going to link in the description the link, so if you are interested in getting it, you can just click on the link. So the first thing, it comes in this little transparent Ziploc type bag, and there are 3 pieces there. So you have this plastic thing and then your needle. First thing you do is to pop this plastic in the converter. Oops. Yep, and you would know it's secure when you hear that popping sound, and then just push this in. Okay. Alright, so now I've assembled it. Next thing I will do is to make sure that this is fully down. Okay, and uncap the Robert Oster CD Lavender. I'm going to. Alright, so this is just the amount. So this is probably like 0.5, but that's fine with me. If you want, you can still repeat the same process and fill your converter with more ink. So I'm just going to very carefully. You don't need to go like all the way down, but like what I'm doing here, I'm just going to press this like that. See, I'm drawing the ink. So what you need to do is to press and then carefully. Alright, and that's it. So now this one has my Robert Oster ink. I can't see it though, but it has about 0.5 ml of ink in there. I can repeat the process. Let me see if I can do that. Repeat the process. And so as you can see, I still have a little bit in there. And I'm going to just drop this in there carefully. Okay. And I'm done. Alright, so this has maybe 0.7 ml in there. Okay. Alright, So now I'm done, and where is my section? I'm going to push it back in my section. Careful that you don't press this, otherwise, you know, your ink will spill if you press this. And I'm going to cap the barrel. I mean screw the barrel and then place the cap back on. And as you can see, I emptied this sample vial, so I'm able to get the most out of my ink by using this syringe. I think you can also use this as a converter, but I am not sure if it fits the standard size, so I'm not sure about that. I might try, but we'll see. Alright, so next is, let's try to see if this works. I do have my, this is actually just a tracing paper, and I have here a calligraphy calligraphy pad that I use for practice. Let me see. Let me see that. Okay. So, try that. All right. I just fill this up with ink, and let's see if this writes. Yep, it does. So as soon as you fill this up with ink, it writes really well. So this is Violet, Metropolitan, and I ink this up with Robert Oster, Sydney, Lavender. All right, so let's try that again. As you can see, it's a little dark in there, but as you write, the true color will show. Let's try one more time. It's supposed to be purple, but you know, how the ink looks on paper also depends on the kind of paper you have. But that's a good thing about this Pilot Metropolitan, is as soon as you ink it up, I don't have any trouble with it writing or starting at all. It's as good as new. It's very nice. Now let's try this one that I just inked up. This is my FPR. I really like it because the ink flow is very juicy. So let's see if this is ready. Looks like there's a hard stop in there. All right, there you go. FPR. This is Himalaya version 1. And this is very nice. I really love the color of this ink. This is in Vinta, Lucia, deep water blue. Very pretty. Okay, so now I demonstrated how to get the most of your ink vial sample, and also how to fill up your converter with ink using an ink syringe. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!